Good afternoon and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces, guys. Today, I will be honest, watched a lot of football today. I watched the afternoon game, the 12 o'clock games, which normally there's 2 on. Then I watched the Bears game that was on at 3 o'clock or whatever, and then I ended up watching the Sunday night football game, guys. And all the games that I chose to watch were actually all really good, competitive games. There wasn't one that was oh my gosh, it was really boring or whatever. I watched the Kansas City game, which was really good, really close, really competitive game. And then I ended up watching the Bears game, again, pretty close game. The final was 16-6, I think. Bears won, which was awesome. And then I ended up watching the Sunday night Saints against the Cowboys, which was also a really good game. I thought that was a really good national Sunday night football game. I felt like it was also a really good game too, because most of the teams that I was watching were teams that had an influence on my fantasy football team, which I'm really upset about, guys, because I have been undefeated so far, and to be honest, I kind of messed up this week. And I checked Thursday night, right? But because we had Jack's football game moved to Thursday night, I wasn't even thinking oh, I should, pre-game and plan ahead. So I literally just checked to see, are any of my players playing on Thursday night, and if they are, should I have them in or not? And I checked to see, and what's his name? Is it Miles Sanders or something like that? The running back from whoever Green Bay ended up playing against, I think, right, on Thursday night. And so I looked and I saw okay, that's the only person I have going. And I was I just literally checked it super quick just so that I can make sure check to see oh, did I have should I play a quarterback, or was one of my quarterbacks going, or whatever, because I didn't even know what Thursday night game was. And so like I said, I checked it really quick and was just I just have one player that's gonna be, and I was and I don't think it's gonna really affect my team at all. So I checked today to change my lineup before, the game today. And I looked and I was I have 3 running backs. And again, one of them already played today, and the other running back was Le'Veon Bell, who was on a bye week this week. So I ended up, I think, losing to Jack by 10 points, which wasn't going to actually what was going to make or break, because again, I would have taken Le'Veon Bell out because he was on a bye, and put, like I said, I think it's Miles Sanders in. I have 2 Sanders. I have him, and I have Emmanuel Sanders from Denver. And so I was if I had put him in and not played Le'Veon Bell again because he was on a bye, it would have only been a difference of then 3 points, I think, or something like that. But I played the Rams defense, who gave up a franchise high 55 points to the Buccaneers today. And I also ended up playing, which I don't know why, what's his name? Steven Gutowski from New England, who has literally missed extra points in the last 3 games, or field goals or something like that. And Will Lutz today, who played for New Orleans, and I have also New Orleans defense, they shut down Dallas, and I think I checked at one point, they had 10 points or something like that. And Will Lutz had, I think, 11 or something like that. Whereas I think I got 1 point from, what's his name, from New England. And so I was so upset, because if I had just switched those 2, I would have won this week. It wouldn't have even mattered if I had remembered to play, taking Le'Veon Bell out or whatever on Thursday. But I was thinking oh, it's going to be a really close game, for New Orleans, that the fact that Drew Brees is out. I was trying to think about it logically, and I even ran it past my dad too. I was you think that's a good idea? And he's yeah, it's probably what I would have done too. I don't think anybody was expecting the Rams defense to at one point have negative points for me. So yeah, I'm a little upset, guys, because there was points left on my bench. If I had lost and was I couldn't have done anything else. But like I said, I forgot to switch earlier in the week and Thursday night, because of having the high school football game on Thursday instead of Friday. We weren't even home to watch the game. It wasn't, kind of just a background thought. And again too, because we were at the game so early, we left at 4 o'clock or whatever, so normally I'm not thinking about it until like it's around afternoon time, football time anyway, like on Thursday, to remember to switch my lineup. So I actually didn't even realize that I can set my pre-like week. So for week 5, I already took out who has buys, so that they'll play or whatever, and then I should just always check to make sure, like, you know, if there's anybody questionable or out or whatever, to move them around. So that's why, like, again, normally on Thursday I would check, but I just checked to see, like, did I have anybody playing, and if they were playing, were they questionable or out, or, you know, or something like that. And should I have played them on Thursday night, or should I have taken them out? Because I know that happened once with somebody like last year, that I was like, okay, it's probably a good idea, and I learned my lesson then, and I think I learned my lesson now this week. But I do have my like week 5 semi-set. I'll probably go over it again like later in the week, but at least to make sure, like, okay, somebody playing on Thursday night, should I have them in, and just check to see was there any injuries or whatever, like as it gets closer to the week. But again, just to make sure that that's already set, so I don't have to be like, oh, I forgot this person was on a bye week or whatever. So I think, I actually don't know how many weeks in advance I can do it, but I might do that like ahead of time too, and be like, okay, I'm gonna switch this person around or whatever, because that week I know that they have a bye week or whatever. Because it really stinks that that happens when you have your quarterback in and they're like, oh yeah, they're actually not playing this week, and you're like, I forgot to change them. And you know, maybe the quarterback that I do have is playing on Thursday night, and my other quarterback has a bye week, and I forget to like switch either of them. So it's like, I got no points because I didn't switch them early enough in the week. So yeah, like I said, I kind of learned my lesson from that last year, and then again kind of from this instance this year. But yeah, I don't, like I said, it wasn't gonna make or break me remembering to put them in, but it was just the bigger thing that like the toughest part is like there was points left on my bench that would have been what had helped me win the game, you know, so that's what kind of stunk, I guess. And I also only had 3 running backs. I didn't realize that, and I had 5 wide receivers. So I ended up dropping one of my wide receivers. So yeah, and I'm gonna pick up another running back. Anyways, guys, so that's my fantasy update. But I felt really good today, guys, and I felt really like, I don't know, there's just something about like today, like I went to the grocery stores early, I was up kind of early. I've been up kind of early most of this week. Actually, it's just 10:30 right now. Everybody else in the house is asleep, so I was like, I probably am gonna just go to bed now too, instead of staying up, because I already stayed up to finish watching the football game, and now that it's over and everybody else is asleep, I'm like, what am I gonna start right now? I'm just gonna go to bed. But I did end up, I organized my room a little bit today too, and I did dishes and like got to some other things, and I don't know, guys, I felt actually kind of like I wanted to like not just sit around and like do nothing. I wanted to get stuff done. I wanted to edit some today, which I was going to, my Mac was dead. And then on top of that too, I was like, you know what, that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. So I think that's what I'm gonna get done for tomorrow. And then also too, I need to get to some more dishes, laundry, because I'm gonna clean the bathroom then on Tuesday. And so Mondays are normally my day to like catch up from anything over the weekend. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, it's just like that. And then too, I was looking at like some couponing things too, in like maybe the near future, just because I think I told you guys too, we have like a Dollar General that's now currently opening that's really, really close to us, compared to the one that's like super far away, and I have to drive really out of my way to get there kind of. And I really like Dollar General and shopping there, and I think their deals are really great. I love their like digital coupons or mobile coupons, whatever they call them. And I like using them, and so that's why I was like, now that there's gonna be one that's super close to us, I really want to take advantage of it. But kind of want to like dip my toes in a little bit, but I was like, maybe I can like post some stuff and not necessarily post about what I'm doing, but post about some of the things that I've seen, or like I would do but maybe that I'm not, or maybe, you know, if again it's just kind of something that I just kind of threw in there or whatever. But like sometimes we'll still like run to Walgreens if there's like a deal on something that we're like, oh, we're out of that, or we really use that, or you know, there's something we really need or whatever. We might still like wind up running to Walgreens and like do a deal. or go to CVS and do a deal. But it's not like, you know, I'm not like, okay, this is my weekly plan for CVS and like I'm gonna go here and go do all these deals or whatever, or, you know, go to Walgreens and do all this stuff or whatever. You know, I might just like kind of pop into a store here or there or whatever. And like I might still use like some of the app rebates and stuff like that too, which I didn't even realize. I guess I had my Ibotta account inactive for 6 months, which if you have it inactive for 6 months, they subtract, I think $3.99 or something like that out of your account up until you have a $0 balance. And I had like $12 in there, I think. And so it happened last month, and then I literally, yesterday my mom went to Walmart and she bought something and I was like, oh, there's an Ibotta for that. Like I literally remembered, and then I couldn't find the receipt. And so then today when I went to Aldi, there was like just like the 75 cents back for any receipt, plus there was Pop-Tarts. And so I went to go add it and I was like, oh, I left the receipt in my purse. And then literally in between that time and the time I went to go and get it out of my purse, the other $3.99 came off because it'd been another month since I hadn't done it. So it was like now 7 months, I think, that I haven't used like my Ibotta. And so I had $8, I think, subtracted out of my account. So I think I have like $3 plus the $1.25 that I got back today. But like I said, obviously not in the last 6 months, but sometimes I'll still like hop on there and be like, oh, there was a deal for that, or, you know, I'll just grab that or whatever. But you know, like I said, it's normally just like little things here and there that I'll sometimes do. And again, like if there's a deal, like normally like for pop and stuff like that, because I think I've told you guys, pop at Aldi is so expensive. My mom is super brand specific too. She only drinks Diet Coke. Like we have to go get just Diet Coke, and it's like $4 something at Aldi. And so if there's a deal like at a different store, like if Walgreens has like 3 for $9 or whatever, then it's only $3 a case instead. We might wind up going and just popping in there and do that. Or like, you know, oh, this hair care product was on sale and it's like, you know, or this toothpaste that I really am like specific to using, or, you know, whatever. Sometimes we'll just kind of pop in there and like do a deal here or there, and then, you know, kind of just like whatever. Or if I'm like, oh, you know, there was a rebate for that at Walmart or whatever, but like I haven't done anything like super serious. And so like even if I'm still like kind of just doing the same thing, like, oh, I'll just kind of pop here and like, you know, do that deal or do this deal or whatever, and like but share about them, because I still want to like update and share about the deals and stuff like that, you know, and things that I've noticed and seen as well. And two, just sharing stuff at like, because I love Aldi. A lot of the stuff that I post on Instagram was about Aldi, and a lot of people like found me through like my Aldi posts and stuff like that. And so like that's one of the things that like I want to post about, like even if it's just like, you know, like new finds at Aldi or whatever and stuff like that. Like, you know, I don't necessarily have to be couponing to be, you know, and sharing my haul for that week to be posting about that kind of stuff. And two, it's just because like I think I said this in like a vlog a few days ago or something like that, that a lot of times I post stuff on like social media, like Instagram and stuff like that, if it was something that like I liked or I didn't like, to like remind myself about it or something like that. So like, you know, I might share something that was like I really loved, you know, like I was telling you guys the other day when I made that that vegetarian lasagna, like that was actually something I really liked. And so sometimes I like to share that kind of stuff just so I can remember, like if Aldi has that again, because sometimes they do their like specials where they might have this just for like one season, or they have this just for like, you know, a few times out of the year, and it's not something they carry regularly or whatever. If I see it again, I can be like, oh yeah, I did like that because I posted about it, I shared about it or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. So I think sometimes for me, like that's helpful in remembering like things that I actually did like or I didn't like, or, you know, whatever. Or, you know, just like I said, kind of being honest about like products and stuff like that, because there are certain things at Aldi that I don't like, you know. And I think like especially when it comes to like, oh, I really love this store and like there's never anything I don't like about it, like, you know, like there are things that I still don't necessarily like. There's certain products sometimes that I don't necessarily care for or won't always use from Aldi, that again is sometimes something that I would go out of my way to buy at a different store, like, you know, certain things like that or whatever. But that's like I said, one of those things that like I don't mind saying like I don't necessarily like this from Aldi all the time, or more of a comparison too sometimes, like okay, maybe it is cheaper, but is it a product that I actually like, or is it a product that like even though it's $1 cheaper, is it really that worth it if it's something that I've noticed I don't like using as much, you know, or something like that. You know, that kind of stuff. So, and sometimes too, like today I literally heard the person in front of me at Aldi was like, their bags keep getting smaller and like stuff like that. Like there are certain things sometimes about even places that you love, or like products you love, or things you love, or places that you love to go, like there's still sometimes things that you don't always love about them. And again, one of those sometimes is like, I noticed that the same thing with Aldi as well. Is that like, you know, I keep saying with Aldi, but there's different stores that I'll shop at too, that, you know, again, they sometimes make packaging smaller and don't change the price, just, you know, so that they're actually raising the price without you knowing, because you're getting less for what you're paying for. It's like more an informative thing, or again too, so that I can remember. And sometimes I'll share something like, oh, you know, this is this much, and then if I notice I went back to Aldi and I'm like, geez, the box seems smaller, I can actually look to be like, hey, the size was different the last time I bought this, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, like I said, guys, I don't know, I was just like thinking about that today while I was actually going through my newspapers and doing all of that stuff today. I was thinking about that and thinking about the like I said, maybe sharing some stuff, even if I'm not like regularly like posting or sharing hauls and that kind of thing or whatever, or if I do, make it more of an informative, like, or I can make it more of an informal thing. I was trying to figure out what that word was. And so yeah, that's why like sometimes, again, I don't know what I'm gonna do necessarily, but that was one of the things I was thinking about today. I was like, maybe like I'll share that kind of stuff, and again, a more of an informative way of doing it, instead of, because I felt like it was just really time consuming. Right now I'm trying to kind of figure out where my time is working best, and it's really hard right now just because of football season. Like once football season is over, a lot of times things tend to flow a little bit better, but it's kind of hard right now, like because again, we might have a Thursday night game, we might have a Friday night game. I don't think the freshman sophomore team would ever play on a Saturday, but again, I think that if this weekend it wasn't that team's homecoming on Saturday, we would have ended up playing on Saturday instead, because their homecoming dance was on Saturday, so we ended up playing on Thursday then instead. But again, like I can't commit to doing that because things might wind up changing and we might have to do, you know, again, like something else. And like I said, we're out at a football game on a Saturday when we normally wouldn't be, but it might change. So once that's kind of over, which there's really only about a month left of football anyway, we have 4 games left. That's really kind of it as far as football stuff goes. But that was, like I said, one of the things that's kind of like tying me up and making me be like, okay, let's wait until after this, or you know, maybe at the beginning of the year, because it's like always the same time. It's like after summer, then we have fall, which is football. Then, you know, after that, normally like the last week of football, we have Halloween. After Halloween, which is fine, like then we kind of get into November, which is like Thanksgiving. Then we have December, which is Christmas. And so it's like that holiday season too is always like, things are also very like jumping around and stuff like that, and not, you know, just like very scheduled and regimented. And so like after the new year is normally when I can get things back on like track and schedule. So even though like right now it's like kind of okay, it's like when I plan on doing something again, like on a Saturday or something like that, is it might not wind up happening at that time, because we might wind up, like I said, where it's a Saturday game, or you know, a Thursday game instead of a Friday, or even a Friday night game that goes really late and we're out until like, you know, 11 o'clock or later on a Friday night. And so, you know, getting up in the morning early to try and get out to the stores, because that's when I like to go, can sometimes be a really difficult thing. So like I said, guys, it's just, I need to try and figure that out first. But anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.